you're a general naturalist, but I suppose cetaceans and marine mammals are your bread and butter. That's kind of what you really are
Yeah,
into.
they're definitely my main bag. Yeah, sort of professionally with research sense, that absolutely marine vertebrates with more focus of marine mammals for sure. They're my first love. I've been obsessed with whales and dolphins and seals and all sorts since I was a toddler. And then yeah, that passion for them is what basically got me into the whole natural world in general. So most of my adventures and journeys usually usually revolve around trying to find something with a dorsal fin, to be honest.
What is it about them? What was it that kind of enthuses you?
It just well, they just mesmerize me. I find them very captivating, and it's just their intelligence as well. I find really fascinating. It's just how clever these, particularly cetaceans and sort of the dolphin family, how intelligent they are. And it's just something about that, you know, you can't see them all the time. So they're a bit more of a tease because I've had some amazing encounters, don't get me wrong, but I've spent hours, days on the water and seen nothing. So it's just like, I think with cetaceans and marine mammals, obviously there's some areas where, you know, like with a seal haul out, for instance, you know, you're pretty much guaranteed. Like if you go at the right time of year and the right tidal point, you're pretty much guaranteed to see them. But with cetaceans, it's like the reward is massive, but you got to put your arm and you put your sort of legwork in to get there, sort of thing. So yeah, so they really sort of captivated me, and yeah, I've spent a lot, any money that I earned working in a pub or, you know, working in a car park or whatever, I usually spent on, right, where am I going to go to try and track down a new beastie kind of thing. And that's kind of what I've been doing. Obviously not this year, but the last few years, that's what I've been quite lucky to do.
Because you mentioned the intelligence of them, because they're up there with apes, aren't they? Or nearly. They're very smart, and people, you know, just think of them as a stupid fish-looking thing, but they're incredibly smart animals, aren't they?
Massively. It's particularly like sort of, I think, particularly orca and bottlenose dolphins. There's something about those two, to me, that really stands out. So I like to, this is probably the wrong way of saying it, but I quite like to think that the bottlenose dolphins are like the velociraptor of the dolphin world. They're like
Okay.
stupidly clever. And like, so here's a story of this. So for instance, it's like I used to work on a wildlife tour boat in Falmouth. So I spent a lot of time watching common dolphin, Rizzo's dolphin, and bottlenose dolphin down there. And Rizzo's dolphin are just a whole other, we'll come back to them because they're just phenomenal. But common dolphins were great, but I often found that when they were swimming around, they're playing and everything, but they weren't that, it was weird because I found they were, obviously they're super intelligent, but it was very different when the bottlenose were around the boat because there was they were more checking you out more often than not than you were checking them out. They're always looking at you. And I often found like when you looked at them, you could tell someone was home. It was just a bit of a weird thing because they proper eyeballed you if you were that close on the bow of a boat. And it kind of looks through you. And I had this one evening where we'd been out on a trip, and it was just after, I remember this, it was like second year of uni. We just finished it. I finished my exams and I managed to go out on an evening trip. And we hadn't really seen much. And we're coming back into Falmouth past St. Anthony's Lighthouse. And we're coming back in, and all of a sudden, without a splash, without a ripple, two bottlenose dolphins, it was like something out of Top Gun, came out of nowhere onto the bow of the boat, either side. They were ahead of us and just came in on us like two jet fighter pilots. And we had no idea they were there until they were boom on us. And it was just like the way they can creep up on you. And this is a nearly 4 meter long animal.
I was going to say they're big, aren't they? People don't realise how big. I saw the ones at Channery Point. And I was like, "Fucking hell, that's a big animal!" You know,
they're a big mammal. Yeah, so the ones in Channery Point and that North Sea population are the biggest bottlenose in the world, and the ones we get in southwest Cornwall, you know, they're not that much smaller, to be honest. So yeah, they're anywhere from like fully grown 3.5 to 4 meters. So it's a big animal. And then they came on the bow of the boat, sort of eyeballing it, and then they went under. And all of a sudden, and I've got Pendennis Castle to my left, St. Anthony's to the right. Sounds like a song. And then this bottlenose, it just completely breached. Now I'm at the front of the boat trying to get my camera up, you know, and it happened all in slow mo. And you're like, oh God, I'm going to miss it. And then this bottlenose jumped straight up and it kind of went completely horizontal. And I just remember eyeballing it. And it was probably 20 yards in front of the boat. And it seemed to hover. It was one of those experiences where everything went in slow motion. And it hovered, and as it went back down, I managed to get a shot of it completely vertical, diving back into the water. And then another time we were we had a group of bottlenose, and the same, there's about 33 in the community that go around Cornwall in the southwest, and there's a few nicks in the fins where you can ID them. And it would have been the same group, were off Mayenporth, and they were like playing with a barrel jellyfish and just throwing this jellyfish out of the water, just batting it with their heads and their rostrums. And I had my GoPro on a 2-meter metal pole, and I was leaning over the side of the boat, and the pole wasn't touching the boat, and I had my arms out, and all of a sudden I had this vibration go all the way up through my arm and into my back. And I looked down, I was like, okay, well, I'm not touching the boat, so there's no vibration coming from the boat. And what I'm pretty sure happened is the bottlenose echolocated, and it hit the camera, went up the pole.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because it wasn't, nothing else could have made it vibrate, but because I could hear them clicking from underneath the water. So that was pretty phenomenal.